It might not surprise you that Easter shirts are trending, but there's one particular Easter design trend that's really blowing up right now and making some print-on-demand sellers a lot of sales. That trend is Easter coquette designs like these that are dominating Easter sales this year. And while you may not think that Easter is a big shopping occasion, the data suggests otherwise. In 2024, Easter spending in just the US was expected to top $22 billion. And get this, after food, consumers were expected to spend the most on clothing with $3.5 billion and gifts at $3.4 billion, both of which are huge print-on-demand product categories. So let's look at the product research to see what's selling, and then I'm going to walk you through a full tutorial on how to create a trendy coquette Easter design so you can profit from that huge holiday demand. Also, be sure to watch until the end for a bonus tip. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Adrian. I post videos on how to build a profitable business with Shopify and print-on-demand. My goal is to create the most positive and supportive community of print-on-demand sellers here on YouTube. So if that's you, join us by subscribing and interacting in the comments. There's no gatekeeping here, and you always have a seat at this table. So first, I hopped into Etsy to conduct some product research, and using my Everbee Chrome extension, I can see that there are currently over 3,300 monthly searches for the term Easter just on Etsy, signaling strong demand. So let's go ahead and run that search. Here we can see right away that shirts are dominating, particularly t-shirts and sweatshirts. But let's go ahead and filter by best sellers. So I'm just going to tap all filters. I'm going to select physical items, star seller, run that search, and then in the URL, I'm just going to change the word star to best. This is a little hack to filter by bestsellers since Etsy no longer has a built-in bestseller filter option. Now check this out. Here we can see a number of popular and best-selling products, but pay particular attention to how many of them are Easter coquette designs. And for anyone who's unfamiliar with what coquette is, it's a hyper feminine design aesthetic similar to this pink sweatshirt here, which commonly incorporates colors like pink and red, as well as elements like bows and cherries. Next, to get a quick sales snapshot and to see which of these designs are actually selling best, I'm going to use my Everbee Chrome extension and tap the product analytics feature. Everbee is my favorite design research tool because it quickly analyzes Etsy data to identify best-selling products and designs that you can use as inspiration to create products for your niche and brand. And just to be clear, I never recommend stealing designs. Instead, identify best-selling designs right now that you can reverse engineer and use as inspiration to create your own original designs for your niche. So I've gone ahead and filtered by estimated monthly revenue to find some of the best sellers. Here we can see this Treat All Peeps with Kindness t-shirt is estimated to have made $2,300 and it was listed last year. But check out this Easter coquette design here. It's estimated to have made almost $2,200 in the last month and it's only 1 month old. That's the kind of data you want to look for when trend spotting. So let's go ahead and take a look at this listing. So here we can see that this shirt has the bestseller badge. It's been viewed over 20 times in the last 24 hours. And then let's go ahead and check the recent reviews. And there are a number of recent reviews, which is further validation that it's selling well right now. And just a side note, this pink and pastel green color scheme is really trendy in 2025. So you might want to try incorporating it into some of your designs. So now that we know that Easter coquette designs are really popular and we've seen some sales validation, let's create a trendy sweatshirt for this holiday. The first thing I'm going to do is go into Printify and grab the recommended print area size dimensions for a sweatshirt. So I'm just going to tap catalog on the left. I'm going to select women's sweatshirts. From here, I'm going to select the Gildan 18,000 sweatshirt. This is Printify's bestseller and it's very trendy right now. From here, you're going to have a couple of options. You can let Printify select a production partner or you can choose manually. My personal preference is manually just to ensure consistent quality. And one of my favorite production partners is SwiftPod. So I'm going to go ahead and tap start designing. This is going to take us to the editor. And all I want to do right now is grab the recommended print area size dimensions for the sweatshirt to take over to Kittl. Step 2, I'm going to hop into Kittl, which is a beginner-friendly design software and one of my absolute favorite design creation tools. One of my favorite Kittl features is their pre-made design templates. So let's go ahead and find one for this holiday. First thing I'm going to do is tap templates here. Then I'm going to select t-shirt templates, and then I'm going to go ahead and search Easter coquette. This is going to pull up a bunch of pre-made design templates that we can use for our design. Here you can see that there are a lot of options and a lot of good options. I'm going to go with this romance reader design here. Now that we have our design template, the first thing I want to do is actually change the artboard size so that it's the same as the recommended print area dimensions from Printify. So let's go ahead and change this to 4,200 by 4,800. And because we made the artboard size a lot bigger bigger, the design is going to look really small, but you can just press the zoom out option in the bottom to zoom out so you can see the full artboard. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to stretch this design so that it fills up a lot more of the artboard. Let's go ahead and turn this into an original Easter coquette design for book lovers. I really like the design itself, and I know that simple sells, so I'm actually not going to make a lot of changes here. I'm going to delete this. When I click on this, you can see that it's grouped together. All you need to do to ungroup that text is tap right click, select ungroup, and now we can drag the text wherever we want. Let's go ahead and move this element up a little bit, and then I'll just move this text up so I can see everything. Now, one thing I do want to do is change what it says, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with this here. I'm going to use a couple words, so I'm just going to go ahead and shrink this to start. Let's just go 350. I just want it to be really small, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with the design element. Stretch it until you see these lines here, and then I'm just going to change what it says. And to line up both sides, I'm just going to bring this over, and then I'm going to stretch this so that it also aligns on the right side. Okay, let's go ahead and move this up. Next, I want to change the bottom text here, so I'm just going to go ahead and change that out. Let's bring this up, and I actually want the text to be over the design element. Notice it covers up part of the T there. So if you want to bring that to the front, just right click and tap forward. Next, let's align the text with the rest of the design. I'm going to go ahead and line it up with the design graphic and the top text, bring that over and stretch it so that it aligns on the right side. Next, I actually want to change the color of the text just to make it a little bit brighter. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap the first text, select the color box, and I'm just going to drag it so that it's a bit lighter of a pink. Next, I'm going to do the same for the lower text. So just select that, tap the color box, and then you'll see the most recent color here. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's actually white text shading around the word Easter. So if you look very closely, you can see the kind of white shading around it. If you do want to get rid of that, it's very simple. Just select the text, and then in the right-hand menu, I can see the text shading here. And I'm just going to tap this remove text shading option. Let's go ahead and bring this down actually just a little bit. And last but not least, I just want to stretch this design so that it takes up a lot of the canvas, and then I'm going to center it on the artboard. When you're done creating your design, tap the export button in the top right, and we're going to save it as a PNG with DPI of 300 with a transparent background. By the way, every tool I'm using in this video, I've included my affiliate links below with any free trials, discounts, or special offers. Thank you in advance for using any of those links. Sponsors and affiliates support me as a creator at no extra cost to you and allow me to create more free content like this that I hope you're loving as much as I love creating it. Back in Printify, we're gonna add our new design onto our sweatshirt. However, the first thing I wanna do is color selection. So I'm gonna go ahead and tap the edit tools in the top right, select variants. From here, you can select which sweatshirt colors you wanna add your design to. I personally like to keep the color options to a minimum to avoid shoppers getting decision fatigue, which is where there are so many options that they can't decide and end up not buying anything. So I'm just going to select 3 colors. The color that I expect this to sell best on is sand. It's super trendy right now and works really well with pink designs. Let's also go with a light pink sweatshirt just to make it even more coquette-ish. And then I'll go ahead and just keep that white color there. Let's go ahead and close that out. And next, we get to drag our design onto the mockup. From here, we can adjust the size and placement. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller, make sure that it's up near the top. I actually want to first see what it looks like on a sand color sweatshirt. And then I always like to tap preview here to see a more realistic view of the shirt and also to see what it would look like on a human. It actually looks quite large. So I'm just going to tap edit. I'm going to go back. I'm going to shrink it just a little bit more, keep it near the top, tap preview, see what it looks like. And I personally like that better. Once you're happy with the design, sizing, and placement, just tap the bright green Save Product button in the bottom right. This is going to take you to the mockup library where you can choose which Printify mockups you want to use, if any, or you can upload your own. On the left side, you'll have all the different options for each different color. And then on the right side will be the actual selected mockups. If you want to get rid of any of the mockups, you can just scroll over them and tap the little X in the top right. And if you want to add any additional Printify mockups, you can just select them here and they'll be added on the right. Once you've selected your mockups, tap the Save Selection button in the bottom right. This is going to take you to the product details page. Once you fill out the product details, I'd tap the Publish button in the bottom right to have Printify automatically publish this to my Shopify store or whichever platform you're selling on. Now for the bonus tip. tip. Brands that are blending Easter designs and coquette designs are leveraging something I call niche stacking. This is where you combine 2 or more niches with large overlapping audiences, and it can be a very powerful sales strategy. But for this particular design trend, I would actually take it a step further. Instead of just stacking Easter and coquette, I also recommend stacking your niche on top of that, like I did with the design that I created. And like this best-selling Easter coquette shirt, this design is only 1 month old, and when I look at the most recent reviews, I can see that it's already very popular. This is a great way to differentiate while still leveraging popular design trends and creating products that are very relevant for your target audience. Okay, I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be creating Easter coquette designs for your print-on-demand store this year. Also, I've created a bunch of free resources which you can find below, including my new 60-minute on-demand training where I reveal the exact strategy I use to generate multiple millions in revenue across 2 apparel brands with Shopify and print-on-demand.